WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany. The last and final episode here of our three-part series of it's called the Battle of Kinsale Irish Whiskies. We have the Spanish Earl Single Malt Irish Whiskey. We're going to compare it to the Great Earl Single Malt, Single Grain Irish Whiskey, and compare it to the 2021 releases, the 2022 release, the Red Earl, the Irish Whiskey. So this is Whiskey Base 192020. It is 43%. So it first matured in ex-bourbon casks, and then it was actually divided up into rum casks and also then stout, Imperial stout finishing. 43%, 36 euros and 90 cents. So going over here to the Red Earl was the very first edition. So we have here our bourbon and then our sherry and then our Rioja casks at the end to finish it. And over here, since he died in Spain and the Great Earl died in Rome, we have a Italian red wine finish. And we have recharred and virgin oak casks here. So 40, 40, and 43%. Now, I do know a couple people at the Kinsale. I actually have a video online where I was at the Whiskey Live Dublin 2022, where I interviewed someone, a nice guy, about this. Sorry, I forgot your name. And so I would like to briefly talk about this whiskey. It says here, born without fear in 1545, Juan del Anguilla served with valor, commanding armies across Europe and Africa. Not really sure about the Africa part. He fought alongside Red Hugh O'Donnell and the Great Earl during an audacious 2-month campaign at the Battle of Kinsale in 1601, by the way. The ultimate battle in England's conquest of Gaelic Ireland and the climax of the 9-Year War. During this time, he lodged in Portney's Lane in Cork and was a popular figure with locals. So this influenced the stout finish of Spanish Earl Single Malt Irish Whiskey, combined with a hint of rum aging for extra sweetness and nose. Returning to Spain, helping wounded troops from his own funds, he died bruised but not beaten in 1602. So, Spanish Earl Single Malt Irish Whiskey is a triple-distilled, triple cask, fearless to its core. I'm not always sure about all the marketing blah blah there, but that's all right. So what do we have here? At the very beginning, it matured for 4 years in ex-bourbon cask before it was then finished in 2 different cask types. One part was actually in an ex-Imperial stout cask. I'm not really sure how many ex-Imperial stout casks I've had from Great Northern, but it's been a few, maybe even a handful. And the other part was an ex-Jamaica rum casks. Triple-distilled, single malt from a Great Northern distillery. And they were actually finished for 3 months, not very much, and then once again married and bottled. So I think my personal opinion is the Red Earl was the first one they did there at Kinsale. They learned a lot. Here they learned how to do this, and this was in 2021 absolutely in thing to do. Imperial Stout, and so they put their own twist on it with the Jamaican rum. On the nose, I'm not a great fan of this. I do get a tiny little bit of dark chocolate. I'm not sure if it's because of the chocolate malt that was used in the single malt or if it actually comes from the Imperial Stout and the rum together. I've never had Imperial Stout mixed with rum. Have you? Over here, the Red Earl with the Rioja casks. Way too much of a young grain whiskey, in my opinion. And then the grain whiskey, which was in Italian red wine casks. I actually like this. This is good. I get a nice red currant. I know what to expect and I like. 43%. Why not 46%? You did do this at the end of 2021 in cask strength, but you didn't ever do this or that. What a shame. Maybe something in 2023 will pop up here. There are plans in Cork to actually make or build a distillery. My calculations are between 8 to 12 million, maybe 4 to 8 is what you need. I'm not sure if they will ever get the money to do that, but we'll see. I know there's at least also, once again, a handful of people now doing whiskey and producing whiskey and bottling whiskey and sourcing whiskey from Cork. And so if we could create a coalition of them and let them build their own distillery, who knows, it might actually work. Probably not. 43%. Now, the chocolatiness of this actually kicks in. I get a very, very light strawberry moment going on here and some dried fruits. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a whiskey I originally did not like because I do not like stout. I do not like beer. I do not like Imperial stout. I do not like ale. I do not like Guinness. I do not like Um, and so there's Imperial Stout moments going on here. But interesting enough, together with the rum that actually interacts and counteracts each other and creates a moment where it's like, oh, that's not bad. Now, I do prefer the Great Earl and the single grain. This is my favorite. This is my least favorite, and this is my second favorite. Now, there is a little bit of a roasted moment going on here. Dark chocolate. Don't think milk chocolate, think dark chocolate. There's some dried and tropical fruits going on here. This is interesting, to be honest. If I were you and I had the choice to try only one of these, just out of curiosity, I'd go here. I would go here personally and rebuy a bottle because I like a good grain. I would say, well, try it before you buy it. All right, so I really, really think this Spanish Earl is, so far, not the best of the three, but the best made whiskey for what it is. I do like the grain, but I do like grains just in general. So, a grain. Mm-hmm. This was, if I'm going to give it this a C, this is going to almost be a C plus. This is a C minus. All right, C minus, C plus in my opinion. Value for money, C, D, 36 euros, C minus. All right, I can get a lot of Irish whiskey for 36 euros. As I mentioned in this video here, I would go for the Bushmills 10. All right, 25 euros at the moment over here in Germany. I don't even know how they can produce a 10-year-old Irish whiskey for 25 euros. All right, good. But I do get the chocolate moments here. I do get a lot of fruitiness. That is actually a very, very nice whiskey. Now, Kinsale Spirits Company, thank you very much for informing me or making me actually think about Irish history. I had no idea about the 9-Year War. I had no idea about the all the earls leaving the country, the flight of the earls back in 1609. I had no idea that actually Queen Elizabeth I actually conquered the Celtic Ireland back then in 1601, 1602. And that was the reason why, up until today, this is 420 years later, the Irish still have a little bit of problem with the British colony superpower that they used to be. And so I don't think they always did the best job of helping their Commonwealth become something bigger than it is. But that's something else. Dear Kinsale Spirit Company, put natural color on the bottle if it's natural color. If this is not natural color, look at that. I mean, you can see through this. You can see through this. Even this one, that could be that it's not natural color, but you can still almost see through that. All right, so I love the labels. I like what you're doing. Uh, it's been a whole year since we've seen anything new from you. 2022 has basically been silent. Oh, now we have 2023. What's in the pipeline? It's always, always, always this little bit of the curiosity of the whiskey community. What's next? Tried, 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 and now what? I'm not going back. So, all right, Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American. Question of the day: what other whiskeys have you had with an imperial stout cask finish? It doesn't have to be from Ireland. It can be from any place in the world. Which ones have you had? Thank you very much for watching. See you soon, Whiskey Jason. Bye bye.